Hey, vinyl community, it's Maria. I finally got my act together. I'm going to show records I got at shows, including Punk Rock Bowling, which it's been a while. Punk Rock Bowling was in late September. I ended up, I did get records at the Smell This booth at Punk Rock Bowling, and then on the rest of my trip in Phoenix and San Diego, I went to record stores. That's a whole nother video. So I'm just going to show the ones I've gotten at shows, and I think that because I have no control when I go into a record store, that for a while I'm just going to get records at shows until I can learn to practice some self-control. So let's talk punk rock bowling. It was my first time. It was like a punk convention, maybe a punk reunion festival, bands for 3 days. It was outdoors. It was in Las Vegas. First time in Las Vegas. Had a lot of fun. So day one started with the Queers, who I had seen in Atlanta in 2018. Two of the members live in the Atlanta area, and I started out day one seeing the Queers, and then at the merch table I got this. It's the Queers, the Ballad of Rock and Roll Lopez. It's a split 7-inch with Squadron, who did Black Industrial Part 1. Now these are instrumentals, very garage rock. I really enjoyed it. Smoky sort of disc. And this right here, let's see. Oh, and I like this. This sort of looks like a J card, but it's just showing you what's available on Anything But Radio records. So I sort of like that tucked in there. And then this right here, and I think this is number 194 out of 500. So I did, I went to the merch table, got to talk to them. I think they remembered the show. I seen them at the Star Bar in 2018, so it was really nice to see them on a larger stage. And I think they remembered that show at the Star Bar in 2018. So that was my first day. I wanted to show. This is the one picture from Punk Rock Bowling I want to show, and it's two. I was watching the headliner, Descendants, and they were great. And during the show, I looked, and two fans lined up perfectly. And my apologies to the gentleman if he's recognizable. He and this guy with Liberty spikes lined up, and I got this incredible picture. That's my only picture I'll show from Punk Rock Bowling. It was a really fun first day. It was like a marathon because it's 3 days long. I went for all 3 days. And let me just say this, I want to give a shout out to my brother, who is the hardest core punk I know, because he drove me to the first day of the festival, 5 hours after having hernia surgery. So, he had to get his sister to the festival. And so day one, I was there dancing all day. It was just so much fun. I mean, there were families, with little punk kids, and all types of people were there, and absolutely just so much fun. Before I get to day two, I wanted to thank someone for some VCLT. Mike from Mike's Got the Spins. He was showing, stuff in women in rock, and he showed Grace Slick. So I said to him, or I contacted him and said, hey, I've read her autobiography twice. I'm probably not going to read it a third time. If you pay the postage, I will send it to you. So he decided we would just make a trade, and he sent me some records. And so he sent me 3 Jefferson Starship records, and a nice note where he wrote down the songs that he thought were the best on these albums. And he's got really good taste, and a nice touch. He included a sticker from the record store in his town. So it was really cool. Thanks, Mike. So day 2 of the festival, I got there in time to hear Suburban Resistance. Great live band. And if you ever watch Yorkshire the Record Jerks channel, this is his band. And it was he was the first person I watched him. got to meet him, got to meet his lovely family. This is the first person from the vinyl community that I've met in real life, and it was a great experience. One of his kids gave me a Suburban, there we go, Suburban Resistance pen, which was totally cool. So the record, so I sort of dropped the ball with the merch table, and I actually ordered this through a link in his channel. I think it was the 100 subscriber celebration video. And this is not the most recent album, because I think it was sold out when I tried to get it. And this one came out in, I think, 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2020. It's gorgeous. So they've got the lyric sheet, and I really love the lettering where it says Suburban Resistance. The disc is gorgeous. It's sort of a purple color. And I was looking at some of these lyrics. They're so great. My favorite song, Fools. You can't say that or you'll offend some dude, and then you'll be hated. Laughter is not approved. And being open-minded has slowly gone the way of the phone booth. It's true. Now everything you do will be judged by some dumb internet dude. And the other one, I just love that. It's getting better. It's about people living paycheck to paycheck in America. Corporations are people now. If that makes sense, I don't know how. Trickle down has fizzled out, a population filled with doubt. So really great lyrics. Great to see them live. If you haven't checked out Yorkshire the Record Jerk's channel, you have to see his record room tour. It's absolutely amazing. He's got a lot of Ramon stuff. And it was just so cool to have met him and his family. So, I had such a great time at this festival. So started out the day with Suburban Resistance. The first day, I got there, the Queers, I saw Frank Turner, the Mincingers, and then Descendants. Day 2 started out with, I saw Suburban Resistance, Side Eye, Urethane, Good Riddance, Streetlight Manifesto, Leftover Crack, who I love their band name, and I enjoyed them, and I'm gonna, I should have hit the merch table with them. I'm really gonna get more of their stuff. And then the headliner, so we'll go from Yorkshire the Record Jerk to a good old-fashioned Circle Jerk. I finally got to see Circle Jerks. This is their 1980 debut. It's the hype sticker, 40th anniversary deluxe edition, includes 1980 band rehearsal plus band rehearsal bonus tracks, and it's on a yellow disc, which I won't show. It comes with this really great booklet where different musicians are talking about, this record and what it meant to them. I love these band flyer or these show flyers from back in the day. There are a lot of really young pictures, Keith before dreads, and so the bonus tracks it's songs that were on the record, but it's during rehearsal. Recorded at the Pink House, Keith's mom's garage, straight to boombox cassette, Inglewood, California, 1980. And who wouldn't love, 14 songs in 15 minutes? I put it on, and a lot of the songs they did at the show, I put it on if I'm stressed, to work things out. So it was great seeing them. I'm going to see them in, I think it's April here in Atlanta. And the one thing I noticed, I don't know if Keith is known for this, but his song intros, what he was saying, it just seemed like complete non sequiturs. And I don't know, I'll have to watch footage to see if that's what he's known for, because he would say stuff and lead to a song and I'd go, what? But great time. So day 2, I indulged a little too much, but I was the whole thing. I was up and dancing. So day 3 started out the day. I've shown this before. Well, started out the day with the Schizophonics, and found out about them through Ryan Kidd's channel, and saw they were playing in Atlanta. went to see them and then realized, oh, they're also going to be playing at Punk Rock Bowling a week from now. So I talked to them in Atlanta, um, and then talked to them in Vegas at Punk Rock Bowling. And on my trip, when I reached San Diego, I went to a record store, which is the Schizophonics. That's where they're based out of, is San Diego. Went to a record store, was talking to a guy there, and he says, oh yeah, there's one member of the Schizophonics that works at this record store part-time. So they probably thought I was stalking them. But so I actually got this at the Atlanta show, because like I said, I sort of dropped the ball on the merch table. This is they're covering two songs. They're covering A Black to Come by the MC5, and Remake Remodel by Roxy Music. And then I had also gotten this LP, and this one, hold on, let's see. Wait, so the 7-inch was from 2020. This is from 2019. Hold on, it was oh, does it have a lyric? Yeah, I won't pull it out. And they really did. So they're such a great live band, and the record, even though it's not a live album, really captures the spirit of their shows, and like battle line that, like, I really, you could hear the guitar and Pat Beer's yelping. He does splits, he does windmills. So, listening to this, all, it did capture, I can still, and my camera's freezing up. It did capture, how they are live, and I really enjoyed that. Now, so day 3 started with the Schizophonics, all English Beat, Murder City Devils, Lunatics, and I won't say the headliner yet. So it was a marathon, and I was losing steam. So for about three of those bands, I actually sat down, and I didn't think I just held out for the headliner, and the headliner was Devo. So Pilmer, if you're watching, take a drink every time I say Devo, because I'm going to be saying it a lot. So when Devo took the stage, I was still sitting down. After about the third song, I got up, I weaved my way through the crowd, and started dancing, and I didn't even think I had it in me at that point. It was like my second wind at the end of the marathon, and I think Devo closing the show, really, we all left on a high note, more so than I think if Circle Jerks or Descendants had closed the show. And this record, I did not get at the merch table. I got at the record store in San Diego. As the original, is it 1980? It's their third album, came out in 1980. Freedom of Choice. And I'm going to admit, prior to seeing them and getting this record, the only song on this album I knew was Whip It. So now I'm listening to it and playing catch up, because I had such a blast at the show. And so the entire time, and so it was just such a great experience. I would love to go back next year for Punk Rock Bowling. Loved Las Vegas. I really did the festival and spent time with my family, because my brother and my sister-in-law lived there. I didn't gamble, but the way I see it, I'm a woman in her 50s with aching joints who went to a 3-day outdoor punk festival, knowing that if I got injured, I couldn't do one aspect of my job. So that is a huge gamble. So I guess I did gamble in Vegas. Now, so I traveled to Phoenix and then San Diego. In San Diego, I went to the Casbah, which is a San Diego historical. It's a historical musical site. It opened in '89. The location I visited had been there since '94. When I lived in San Diego, I never went there. I don't know what I was thinking. So I went there on my vacation and saw Algiers, who happens to be an Atlanta band. And that night, who did I see? Oh, Carrie Feller, Zen Mother, and then Algiers. And so, and it really, I'll read the hype sticker. The the 20th century reimagined as a series of revolutionary spirituals. So I had, it wasn't exactly, the Casbah is known more so for punk music. This was great. It wasn't punk, but it was great. The A lot of like this record is, I listen to it and it's sort of it raises my spirits. And so it was great. The Casbah, if you know San Diego, it's near the airport. So if you go outside and as the planes come in, it's almost like you can reach up into the sky and grab them. So great location, great to visit, this musical, historical San Diego landmark. So I was on a roll. Next night I went to the soda bar and I saw Torres. Um, Torres, it was a great show. It was a very intimate setting. I this really isn't my type of music, but watching her perform it in an intimate setting was wonderful. This album is called Three Futures, and if you look at the pictures, every future outcome to this, she's getting laid. Now, side one, it was a little slow, but side two of this record I loved. And the reason I chose this one came out in, I don't even know. When I went to the merch table, I said, that last song she performed, which album is it on? And they said this one. And I think it was To Be Given a Body. So that's great. And then Concrete Ganesha, really great. Side two, I definitely like way more than side one. So it was just great to see her. I would see her again live. I'm probably not going to get any more of her records because I think I really enjoyed it more live. But and then I came back to Atlanta. I went to day 3 of Shaky Knees. I didn't really feel at home, even though it was in my hometown. Like I did at Punk Rock Bowling. I think it's because at Punk Rock Bowling I went to all 3 days, but I waltzed in for day 3 of Shaky Knees. The Strokes headlined. I saw, was it Black Midi, the Aces, Orville Peck. I chose to see All Them Witches over Phoebe Bridgers, and then the Strokes. I looked for the merch table after, so it's the end of day 3. If there were merch table, all I saw was they were selling T-shirts. So I don't know if they were selling records, but maybe next time I'll go back for 3 days instead of just waltzing in for the final day. So then I went to the Masquerade November 16th. God, November 16th, and I saw Bad Cop, and got an autographed copy of this. They are absolutely great live. I love them. This record, though, doesn't really capture, like, I will go see them live again. This record didn't capture, the Schizophonics record did capture that spirit that they have. This didn't. I don't think, being here, listening to it on my stereo, I'll see them live again, definitely. What's really cool in the picture, one of them is wearing a button, a Devo button. So I really enjoyed that. And after Bad Cop was Anti-Flag, who I've seen before. And so this one, it's they're very political, and this one, it basically, your freedom falls only skin deep when just to breathe is a dying plea. So they on here, they tell you where your money is going when you purchase this record. And they had a lot of people participating, in addition to the band, Dwayne, Tom Morello, Jalisi Delegary, but it was Marsha Richards' vocals that really added something, and she's from the English reggae band The Skints, really added something to this record. And obviously it's Anti-Flag. It's gonna be very political. So got the 7-inch. And then like I have an Anti-Flag album, but because I love them live, I got the Anti-Flag Live Volume 2. And so I have a lot of these songs on the other record, but because it's live, I really enjoyed it. So and basically this one is known as a protest slash benefit single. So that's why the money was going to different charities that they listed, or not even charities, but different movements. So the LP, let's see, it's got sort of a grayish color, and they have some inserts with pictures of the band. Yeah, more right there. And so yeah, it was a fun time. I went down to the Masquerade the other day, or in the morning, and bought 2-for-1 tickets to shows throughout April. So I'm going to be seeing a lot more shows, and like I said, I think I'm just going to buy at merch tables and not go into record stores just for a while. And so I hope that, you know, these shows aren't going to be canceled, you know, because of COVID. You know, things are happening daily. We're back to wearing face masks at work and stuff. And so anyway, I will post the video where I could talk about when I hit the Smell This booth at Punk Rock Bowling, bought stuff there, went to a record store in Phoenix and San Diego. So I'll be showing those albums because I got some really cool stuff because people recommended stuff to me. So thanks for watching. Bye.